told y'all this was going to happen. I told y'all last week that Kirby Smart and the Dawgs are about to take off and get multiple commitments in the 2025 class. And this is just the start. They are on a roll right now. They added a commitment from five-star linebacker Zayden Walker. They landed a commitment from an elite prospect in the 26 class in Derek Cooper. And last night, they added a commitment from Christian Garrett, a four-star defensive lineman from Prince Avenue Christian, a guy I talked about last week as being someone who could be the next to commit to Georgia. I told you it was down to Georgia and Clemson. He took both official visits, was supposed to commit in July. That was the plan, but he said, you know what? I know where I want to go. It's Georgia. I'm going to jump on board and commit. So the commitments are rolling in, and they're going to keep rolling in. All right, just to be honest with you, we expect multiple commitments in June. More possibly this week. That wouldn't surprise me at all. And then a lot more in July. And I'm going to talk about that in today's video. But specifically, I'm going to talk about the defensive lineman. I spoke with Justus Terry, a five-star elite defensive lineman that was committed to Georgia this spring, flipped to Southern Cal, was back for an official visit last weekend. I've got some quotes from him. I'm going to talk about Christian Garrett, their newest commitment. So it is a jam-packed video today. I'm going to start with Christian Garrett first, then Justus Terry, then a few more guys. But real quick, Christian Garrett, 6'4", 280, two-time state champion at a nearby Prince Avenue Christian in Bogart, 86 tackles last year, 9 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks from the interior. He's the number 10 defensive line prospect, the number 128 overall prospect in the country. If you've been following my reporting, if you're familiar with this channel, if you're a Dog Post member, you knew that he has been trending Georgia's way throughout his recruitment, and he chose Georgia over Clemson last night. Not a surprise to any of you, but it is a big deal. Justus Terry, that's one of the big guys. That's one of the big guys, top 10 prospect in the country. He had a lot to say about the Dawgs to me a few days ago, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But first, you know I got to do it. collegebronze.com. Father's Day is next Sunday, folks. It's next Sunday. If you don't have a gift, I'm saving you right here. This is the gift. You can get it by using the information in the description right below in this video. It's right there. You can order it. Use the promo code DAWGPOST for a discount. DAWGPOST. Look at this big guy. Look at this guy. I mean, this is the most detailed Bulldog statue on the market. It's the best thing you'll purchase probably all year long. Do it for Father's Day. Your dad's going to love it. And you can get the discount. Again, promo code DAWGPOST. Don't miss out on the discount, right? I love saying that. It just rolls off the tongue. And this guy is going to be the next member of your family. You're going to love him. Get it today, and you might get it before Father's Day. It's made in Roswell, Georgia. So it's a local business, small business. It's the best thing on the market. Get yours today. Everything's in the description below. Okay, Justus Terry. I asked him after his official visit, hey, what's Georgia's pitch to you? How are they trying to get you back on board? What makes Georgia special? And he's a tight-lipped kid, okay? He doesn't say much, very smart kid. But he did say this. He said, I learned about the ins and outs of Athens from Michael Williams. I also learned more about the type of player the coaches expect me to be when or if I come in. He also said Georgia's main pitch has stayed the same, which is being honest and real to me about who they are, what they can offer, and how they can develop me for the next level after college. So he didn't get into too many specifics, but I'm telling you right now, he is a big fan of Trey Scott, always has been, and he knows, he's told me in the past, I know that Georgia's turning out defensive linemen. I see the guys going first round. I know they're close to home. I've got a great relationship with the staff. He's been to Athens countless times, right? But at the end of the day, NIL will probably come into play with him and all these other five stars. It just is what it is. I believe Southern Cal has offered a bigger NIL offer or more, bigger or more opportunities for NIL. But at the end of the day, I think his relationship with Coach Scott, the ability to be developed, and that's what they're pushing on him. They're like, hey, we can offer you this in terms of NIL and these opportunities, but at the end of the day, you want to make millions and millions of dollars in just a few short years? Come play for us. You're not going to be first round pick at Southern Cal. I'm saying that. Trey Scott's not saying that. I'm saying that. But they probably alluded to that. They said, you come here, in the state of Georgia for a powerhouse program, you might win a national championship and be a first round pick and make money with NIL and make millions of dollars probably a little quicker than if you went to Southern Cal. So I know it's beautiful out there. I know it's different. I know it's not rural Georgia where he grew up. It's very flashy out there, and they're a program on the rise. They'll probably lose 4 or 5 games this year. That's that's for another video. But I continue to hear that Georgia sits in a very good position with Justus Terry, who is telling everyone still, like he did in February, hey, I'm gonna take my time with the process and make a final decision when I need to make one. So I do think Georgia's trending. I don't want to say trending, but they're in the thick of it. They have a real chance of flipping him. Moving on, Jared Smith is an edge defender from Hoover Thompson High School. I think between Hoover and Calera, where I spent a few years as a young pup in Calera, Alabama, super small town. I don't think it's super small anymore, but anyway, middle of Alabama. He had a lot to say to me last night after his official visit. He said the visit, the overall message to me was development. Coach Drebe spelled out the game plan for me the next few years and told me how I would fit in. During the visit, I got to hang out with a lot of the team. They shared something they liked about being on the team. They kept it real with me. Not all days are fun, but those guys work hard. It's true. If you don't want to work, don't go to Georgia. I saw a lot during the visit: academics, housing, strength and conditioning, the food and nutrition. They explained all the benefits. Coach Smart's overall message was being developed on and off the field. Of course, I will play football, but it's always good to have a plan after football. Overall, it was a great visit. I definitely plan to be back in Athens this season for a game. He also told me that he wants to be committed before his senior season starts. So he's one of the top-ranked edge defenders in the country. Did not really impress me personally. Just going through some drills. I have not seen him play on a Friday night because I live north of Atlanta, beautiful Forsyth County. I don't live in Hoover, Alabama, so it's hard to get over there. And he's dealt with some injuries. I think there was some transfer rules, so he hasn't really played much high school football for the last last year, and I think even before then. But he is long. He's got a good frame. He's a guy that Georgia's targeted for a while now. And if they continue to push for him, I think they're in a really good spot. I said last week that I think South Carolina and maybe other programs are pushing for him more than Georgia is, but I think it's clear that they still are pushing for him, and they're still recruiting him hard. They have one edge defender already, and Darren Ickenogben from New Jersey. Hope I said that right. I think I said that right. But Jared Smith had a lot to say about that visit. So we'll see where things go. But it seems like Georgia, if they continue to push hard for him, they could be tough to beat. So that's just a guy to know. Another defender that I want to mention, Tavien Wallace from Wayne County, one of the top linebackers in the country. I think he's the #3 linebacker prospect in America. Now, Georgia loaded up on linebackers in the last cycle. I say loaded up. They took two of the best linebackers in the country. 5-star Justin Williams, who was #1 in the country. 5-star Chris Cole, #3 in the country. And they took Christopher Jones, who could play outside, could play inside, but he's a solid 4-star as well. And now they're after Tavien Wallace. They already have the #1 linebacker committed in Zayden Walker. They've got Jaden Perlotti on board, although he's taking other visits. Tavien Wallace, excuse me, as I keep coughing, I'm sorry about that. He's a kid from Wayne County, South Georgia, that I think was trending heavily to Florida State for a while. Florida wants him badly. I had a Florida insider ask me, hey, is Georgia really pushing for him now that Zayden Walker's committed? He asked me that last week. I said, yeah, it seems like it. They are going to want to add him. If he wants to jump on board, I think Georgia would make room for him. About a year ago, I was told early in the very beginning of the 25 class that they were only going to take 2 true inside linebackers, Jaden Perlotti, who was already on the commit list, and Zayden Walker. But I think if Tavien Wallace wanted to jump on board, Glenn Schumann would say, come on, big dog, let's go. He spent a lot of time with Justin Williams and some of the other linebackers currently on the team. He's the #58 overall prospect. Like, you're not turning that guy down if he wants to jump on board. 6'2", 220. His brother just got drafted into the NFL draft, played at Kentucky. Very good player. This is a guy with instincts, knows how to hit. And it looks like Georgia has climbed his list of schools. He's very high on Georgia. I hope to have a story on him over on Dawg Post. There's actually a lot of insider scoop on Dawg Post. I published a big story this morning. That's free. That's free with a lot of scoop on a lot of different players. So if you're looking for the latest and greatest Georgia Bulldog recruiting information, it's all on Dawg Post. You can read it for free. Everyone else, I don't know how many free recruiting information is out there, but you can read it over on Dawg Post. Become a smarter Georgia fan and stay up to date on recruiting for free over on Dawg Post. I mean, what are we doing here? So yeah, Dawg Post is where all the info is at, and more's coming. I got to write up some possible commitment stories later today. I mean, the Dogs they're on a run right now. lot of people talk about silent commitments, when they could be public, so on and so on. Wouldn't surprise me if more decided to go public with a commitment later this week. But as far as Justice Terry goes, I think Georgia's got a real shot at him. I still think they're in a great spot for Elijah Griffin. But they added their second defensive line commitment this past weekend in Christian Garrett. Solid 4-star guy. He's lean, but powerful and active, disruptive. Made a lot of plays for Prince Avenue Christian. And they wanted him. They got him over Clemson. So big commitment last night. One could come today is from what I've gathered. So we'll see how, when the commitments start coming. But I'm telling you right now, the Dogs are on a roll. And you can keep updated over on Dog Post with all the information you can ask for. Actually, not yet. I still have to write a few stories. But there's plenty of information already over there for free. So check it out and get your Bulldog today. Father's Day is next week. But you want this guy by your pool and on your front porch this summer, right? Everyone's out and about playing in the yard, in the street. Let your neighbors know that you pull for the Dogs, right? Get one of these bad boys. Promo code DOGPOST, DAWGPOST. Don't forget the discount. Hope you learned something. Congratulations. You're a smarter Georgia fan. And I hope to see you on Dog Post.